So my mate Patrick Biggs has done something really special with his MOC, Son of Makuta Weather Control. Patrick's gold Rahkshi MOC is, in my opinion, one of the perfect examples of taking an already existing set or concept, like the classic Rahkshi, and making it way more interesting. So let me walk you through why I love this MOC and show you all the clever ways that Patrick has built a Rahkshi, but kept it fresh, clean, and cool. And maybe this examination can help inspire you to innovate and reimagine classic Bionicle characters or species or creatures in new and exciting ways. Let's go. Probably the best part of this MOC is the magnificent head design. Just from looking at it, you can already see the similar shape to the original Rahkshi headpiece. But there's this really huge improvement, which is this posable jaw. The use of these perpendicular bar connector pieces was very smart. These appeared in some of the earlier waves of Ninjago and were used on some of the golden weapons. And seeing them in action here, not only does it allow the jaw to pose with the way that they've been built into the head design, but the pieces also just have some lovely shaping to them, because they branch out into these gold claw pieces at the very end here. Now, these gold claws help to create the front of the jaw, but since they're claws, they also sort of look a little bit like teeth, which, makes sense for a jaw. So they shape it, and they kind of look like teeth. It's nice that these pieces are working on a few different levels and achieving a few different things at the same time. That's pretty cool. This kind of implied tooth look is accented by the use of this gold vertical tooth element. Again, this triangular design looks spiky and just fits well, but it also looks a little bit like a nice chin, which is a great addition. And then the top part of the head is just as good. It uses a lot of these gold robot arms that, of course, appear on the robots from Exoforce. Now, these perfectly form the top part of the teeth, allowing these white claws to branch off of them, but again, they've been used at the top of the head here to create this nice smooth rounded curve on the head design. Plus, on top of that, these beautifully frame this wonderful eye design. Great idea to use those orange clip pieces for the eye, and then also to put a white minifigure hand on them, so it kind of looks a bit like a pupil as well. Fantastic stuff. Once again, pieces are working on multiple levels. It helps shape the eye, it helps create the curvature of the head. Patrick knows what he's doing. It really is wonderful how everything's working in tandem here to keep the essence of the classic Rahkshi head. It nails the shape, the eyes look great, they have that kind of lizard-like look to them, and it still manages to also innovate and advance it in a new and cool way. That's just amazing to see. Oh, and then this Rahkshi staff is also really nice. Look at the brilliant color combination of using these Protector of Jungle lightning parts. Just majestically contrast with the primarily gold color scheme of this build. They perfectly complement one another. It's so cool. I love seeing Bionicle G2 pieces like this feel right at home when it's revamping a classic G1 Bionicle character like a Rahkshi. The staff is also detailed in some great ways as well. It uses some Technic bushings in different sizes, as well as a couple different lightsaber parts from some of the Star Wars Ultra Build sets, and then a few other pieces as well. All of this makes the staff just way more interesting. I mean, when we compare it to the original Rahkshi set, it just used a plain black axle for the hilt of the staff. That's okay, but whatever, right? But here we see a more detailed staff, and it's just a lot more fun to look at. So it's nice to see a blend of new and old pieces that have been put into this staff hilt here, and it makes what could have just been a really dull and boring weapon 1,000 times cooler. Moving on over to the hand design, it continues to explore some new ways of updating the classic Rahkshi. We can see these toe ball mixel joint pieces that connect the arm onto the hand design. This toe ball part then branches off into the classic mixel joint plate pieces, and then this allows Patrick to integrate even more system pieces in pearl gold. Now, Ninjago sets these days, and a lot of other sets, come with plenty of gold pieces in them, so branching off into system in this section here was smart. Now it's easier to play with way more gold pieces because you can dip into your Bionicle gold parts and heaps more with your system gold parts too. Oh, and of course this arm design also uses these cone pieces, which always look great on an arm design. Again, we see it on the leg too. Some beautiful system pieces at play here. So many creative possibilities that you can achieve when you use them. There's also plenty of great designs all throughout this MOC, including the wonderful leg design. The way that it perfectly blends this larger dark bluish-grey CCBS shell with this quite large big old grey claw piece. Man, that looks cool. It manages to create an incredibly smooth design from all angles, and it thankfully doesn't suffer from the issue that often happens on a lot of CCBS sets, where it looks great on one side where the armor is, but when you flip it over, all the unarmored parts look a little bit gross and not so good. But thankfully, this design allows for a smooth and sleek aesthetic on basically all sides. Also, the use of this mutterfoot in dark bluish grey. This is placed so that it bridges the torso into the neck. That was a great choice. It's awesome to see how one part creates such a seamless flow between sections. We've also got a brilliant mix or joint tail here. I love how it flows into larger CCBS pieces, so it gives off the effect that the tail thins out as it reaches the end. And this is further explored by increasing the size of these CCBS armor shells on the back, and also introducing blades that get bigger as the back progresses into the head. Once again, we're seeing ways of updating the classic Rahkshi and making it a bit more modern and exciting. I think this captures that original vibe very well, but it takes it in a new direction. I mean, for example, now it's got a tail. The original set didn't really have a tail, it just had that spine there. So seeing it flow out in an almost sort of serpent-like manner, that seems very appropriate. I like that. So, the choice to use modern parts to give life to older designs, and exploring ways of advancing these older sets with newer Lego pieces, and newer designs and newer techniques, it's a great way to breathe life into an old set. And it takes what was already super cool, and makes it even more exciting and unique. Patrick really nailed this build. It's a shining example of what modern pieces and techniques can accomplish. So hopefully the techniques that we've discussed in this video can give you some inspiration for your own future Bionicle builds, and if not, I hope that seeing an up-close look of this incredible MOC just put a smile on your face. Be sure to check the links in the description and let Patrick know just how much you loved seeing his MOC. There's also links in the description to Patrick's Instagram and Flickr, so you can see some of the other incredible work he's done, and maybe give him a follow and leave a like on some of his stuff. Thanks for watching guys, happy building, and bye for now.